This is Anderson Penn's podcast, episode 182 for Tuesday, March 1st, 2016. This is Brian.
This is Lisa.
This is the Anderson Penn's Radio Network.
I don't have a word.
Oh!
I was going to do it in Eskimo since we woke up and it was 19 and snowing, but I just didn't get there. So, shoot me. Sue me. You do it.
No, it's your line. If it's in blue, it means there's something you have to say.
What's up?
You know, maybe one of these episodes we had to do everything backwards, where you say everything I say and I say everything you say.
Good luck with that. I might be able to pull off what you do. I'm not sure you can pull off what I say because that may not work. That may not go over well. Anyway, hey, everybody. I can't believe it's March 1st.
March 1st, yeah.
It means like spring is close. I'm excited.
It is close. Well, the weather's been nice, and
Except for today.
Except for today. Later next week, it's going to be in the 50s. So
I know. I am excited about that. But it was next week.
Yeah, next week. Like when we leave, it's going to be warm.
Great. Great. It's probably like another East Coast blizzard on its way. Okay. But after this, though, all of the shows for the rest of the year are pretty much clear sailing weather-wise. Oh,
yeah. Yeah. Atlanta, we need to get about 6 hours south, and we're in good shape. And then after that, it's cold for the Chicago show, but then that's no big deal.
6 hours south, and then we get to Bowling Green, and then who cares?
Oh, yeah, who cares? We'll leave early for that one, maybe, huh?
Yeah, I think we will. So lots of stuff to cover this week.
I guess, yeah.
Well, a little bit. Lots of news. I mean. Yeah,
so should we jump right in? The Penn Show news for the week?
Let's do it.
Okay, so last week was the Little Rock show, which we did not go to.
It's a cute little show.
It's a cute little show. I have not heard any reports of the show, although I confess I have not looked on FPN for any reviews. This week, starting in a few days, the Baltimore, I believe it's now named the Baltimore-Washington Penn Show. Not to be confused with the Washington, D.C. Penn Show, but this is the Baltimore-Washington Penn Show. We are not going to that one either. So,
no. It's, one year we did Little Rock, Baltimore, and Long Island back to back to back. And we were suicidal and homicidal and just zombies. And we vowed we'd never do it again. This and then for the last several years, we've done Baltimore and Long Island back to back. And it just makes both of them miserable for us. So this year we have, and Baltimore's been kind of floating back and forth between different hotels and 2 day, 3 day, 2 day, 3 day.
Yeah, it's been shaky a little bit,
yeah.
But.
So we're going to skip it this year. And usually Long Island is a busier show for us, just physically harder. So we're skipping Baltimore and hoping that will give us a little more energy. And I'm just going to go there and say a little more patience for Long Island.
Yeah. So, I hate to miss Baltimore. We've got some of our best friends who are there, but we've got to cut back a little bit. And as business picks up, it's hard. It's darn near impossible to get things done so that we can go to the shows. And Long Island is we have some other opportunities in Long Island that I think merit that as being a good place to go. So looking forward to it. There's always some cool vintage stuff at that show. So
yes, that's what scares me.
Well, I haven't bought a vintage pen in a while, right? When's the last time I bought a vintage pen?
What did you get for Valentine's Day?
That was a a 2006 Vanishing Point. I hardly think that classifies as vintage.
It's not modern. They don't make it anymore.
Well, no, but they do sort of make it. But
Nope. Anyway, you'll look. I'll say no. You'll say please. I'll say okay. That's how it usually goes.
yeah. So, no, it'll be fun. So just to reiterate, since we're not going to Baltimore, that means people want to place an order for pen show pickup. It doesn't work if we're not going to Baltimore. So
Right.
Long Island only.
But we are going to Long Island, and I'm really impressed with the ballroom. It's not really a ballroom. It's the student center. The first year we went to Long Island, it was fine. Half of the space, and it was okay. The second year, they had remodeled, and the space is gorgeous.
Yeah.
Amazing lighting. All these ballrooms, take note. This place has phenomenal lighting.
Yeah, and good space in between the rows. Right in front of us, there's a couple of empty tables that just so happen to have little snacks on them.
That is the good space.
Chocolate, and then the coffee is right at the end of our table. So this is like, there's no way we're giving up this show because there's coffee right there. There's chocolate right in front of us.
They feed us.
It's like two steps either way, and you're good. So, but no, it's going to be here before we know it. We're going to probably leave Thursday, so which means we got to start packing
Monday, Tuesday.
Tuesday. So.
But that means that a lot of the stuff that we've had on order that is finally coming in will have a chance to arrive, so we can bring it. And we've got a lot of cool new stuff coming in. So, let's talk about some of the stuff that you were playing with today.
Oh my goodness gracious! So today,
we love you, John.
Well, we've alluded to this fact that we now have office space that's upstairs. It's on the second floor of the plaza, so it's not in the store, and we're not always in the store, but we're down there throughout the day. And I get a text message from Chris, who's down in the store, and he says, he always tells me such and such package arrived, Sailor arrived, Pilot arrived, Namiki arrived. I'm like, oh, nice. So I come down, and there's a
no. You ran down.
You
jogged. Let's compromise.
It was a fast-paced effort. And there's a nice, and I did not bring it home because we can bring it maybe next week or the week after. It's a nice leather bound, what would you call it, a box?
I call it a box.
It's got 5 slots in it, space for 5 pens. And I think is this John's carry case? It looked a lot like it. He's probably got extras. I don't know, but and there are 3 pens in this case. Of course, there's just Namiki on the top, and there's a stamp. And inside are 3 Urushi lacquered pens.
It's like the heavens opened up and sang.
It is. You could hear them. It was, angels were flying out, and there were 2 Namiki Yukari Royales. Now these are brass barreled pens with Urushi lacquer. So one is black Urushi lacquer, and the other is vermilion with a red hard rubber feed. And that
red is pretty.
It's nice. It's nice. And those are cartridge converters. They come with Con 70s. One of them actually was sent was a tester. So I mean we were kind of playing with it. And it's a sweet.
You wouldn't let it out of your hand, and I thought you needed a moment to yourself because you were just so excited and so in heaven.
It's 18 karat nib. They're very plain pens. They're very Japanese. On the Yukari Royales, there's a little bit of a trim ring on the bottom of the cap. It's so tiny you can see it, but it's not there. It's not like everybody else's. And then there's a clip, and that's it. There's no other ornament whatsoever on the pen. It's very, very plain. It's very it's a nice looking pen. And then in the first slot on the pen in the pen box,
now this seems huge.
The Yukari Royale is about the same size as a Montblanc 149. It's a substantial pen. About this, it's, same size as Omos Paragon and a Sailor King of Pen Pro Gear. They're about the same size. They're a healthy size, but they got nothing on the Namiki Emperor. And so we got an ebonite Namiki Emperor in black Urushi lacquer, and this thing,
it's a nightstick.
It's awesome. Is what
you
it is.
Hit somebody with this thing.
The cap on this pen. I put it next to a Sailor Pro Gear Slim. The cap on this thing is 3/4 the size of that pen, and it's at least twice as wide. The nib is huge. It's got to be, I don't know. Is it 2 inches long, maybe? I mean, this thing is huge.
It's huge.
It's this beautiful 18-karat piece of beauty. It's an eyedropper filler. It's got the ink shut off, so you can unscrew the back. It's super light, and it's so much bigger than the Yukari Royale, but it's really lighter. You can feel the difference because you've got the brass barrel, and the Emperor is ebonite, and and there's even less because there's no trim ring around the cap on the Emperor. It's just a clip, and that's it. Gorgeous pen. I did a periscope on it, and you can find it on catch.me, or you can see it on
YouTube?
On our Facebook page. It'll be on there. I'll have it up on YouTube in a little bit. I'm going to have it edited. So I did some kind of landscape, and so I'm going to try to have that normalized out. But yeah, it's a big pen.
You were excited.
Yeah, I mean, it makes, generally speaking, the Montblanc 149 has, I've got one here. It's got the largest nib for most people.
No, the Emperor's huge.
It's got nothing on the Emperor.
Yeah.
It's just, the Emperor nib's got to be, I'll have to measure it tomorrow. It's got to be 2 inches long. So, I don't know, it's beautiful. So we got those in the case.
You got to play with that.
Yep, I played with that for about 10 minutes, and that was about it. But really great pens. I was so excited, and they have they make that Emperor in that vermilion too, which would be, I think,
that's pretty.
That would be outstanding. It would just be, I don't know. I was excited. It's really a cool pen. You got to see it. If you're anywhere near the area of the store, you got to come in and check it out. I'll let you check it out because. You just don't see this thing, and I think we are bringing it to Long Island.
Yeah,
I think so. Yeah, and all things considered, I think for what you get, I think it's a reasonable price.
It's huge.
It's big. Yeah, and of course, my version of reasonable price these days is. Yeah,
we won't go there.
We won't talk about that this week. I got in a little trouble earlier in the week because I may have bought a pen. I may have bought a pen that was maybe a little bit outside of the comfort zone.
No, we've paid more for pens. It's just I didn't expect.
All right then.
Ryan.
You heard it here.
No, it was outside your allowance. It was outside your pen allowance for the month.
Well, it's only one. How many pens did I get in February? I got one in LA.
Yeah. What else did you get in LA?
Well, I got the Michael Ward thing was a Valentine's Day gift.
I know.
I only got a Vantage Point in LA. I got one pen.
Didn't we agree that what you just ordered might end up being like an anniversary present or your birthday present? I'm thinking that'd be great.
You said anniversary present, so I said I can wait 2 months.
Okay.
We have to put it on the kitchen table so I at least can see it every day.
There you go. There you go. So speaking of looking at it every day, I'm trying to segue and move this along because otherwise you're just going to keep drooling over the Emperor.
Oh, okay. Go ahead. Go.
You wanted to talk about daily carries.
Yeah, we haven't talked about it in a while. I switched things up a little bit.
Did you? Not me.
This last week, sort of, tiny bit.
What'd you do?
Well, as everybody knows, I am and always will be. I'm a big fan of Sailor. I have probably half of my Franklin Christoph 13 envelope is full of Sailors. I have not had a Sailor in my pocket for probably the last 10 days. Crickets.
Okay. Well, I mean, we had Pilot here, so
We did. We
that
did,
would have been a little
absolutely.
tacky to have a Sailor in your pocket while John's here.
Yes.
Just like,
yes.
when we went to see Jin, we had Sailor in your pocket when we went to see Sailor.
Yeah, so I have had, I've very much enjoyed this. I have a custom 74 it's actually in my penvelope, and it's a nice pen. It just doesn't, I don't know, there's something, it doesn't excite me. It doesn't, it's an orange transparent cartridge filler, but this pen, I don't even know what the name of this pen is. I don't know what the model number is, but this is I've had this in my pocket for the last, it's kind of hard to see. Maybe I'll get some pictures for the blog, but I've had this for the last week or so. This is about the same size as a custom 74. It is a Pilot, but it's a screen maquillé, and it's got this great, you can see this here. It's got this great Phoenix on the barrel, and it's got gold dust on it. It's a cool pen. It writes really nice. I've got this awful mix of red ink in it that I need to write out and fill it up with something neat. But I've been using that, and the last week I had my this is my very first Omas Paragon that I got. Actually, was an anniversary present from you.
How generous I am.
I know, right? This was, boy, how many years ago was this?
I have no idea.
Probably a couple, 2-3 years ago. Black Paragon, rhodium trim. It's got sterling silver section on it. Two-tone 18-karat nib. Really a great pen. Bought it from John Colton. This was the other pen I couldn't decide on when I bought the Revelations from him in Atlanta, and then I emailed him up. Is one of those, only twice in my life have I ever done this. I've gone home after a pen show and emailed the vendor and said, "Listen, I got to have such and such a pen. Either bring it to the next show or tell me the price, and I'll mail you the money."
Yeah.
So I've been using that, kind of in, thinking about Omas and the sad story that happened. That's unfolding over the last couple of weeks. So, but yeah, and it was from John, and John was awesome about it. And I remember when I bought it from him in Chicago, he had a bottle of Parker Quink blue black, and we inked it up right there. And I was so excited I didn't even bother to look at the fact that it has a fine nib, which normally I don't like, but in this pen it's superb. It's really a great writing pen. So.
There you
How
go.
about you?
I am a creature of habit.
Oh no.
Whoop. I've got
Is it the same?
Pilot, Sailor, Pilot, Sailor. But this one, my Decimo, this is what we traded for. I don't remember what we traded it for, but we traded for this in San Fran. And I have loved it ever since, and I am so excited that the Decimo will be here soon.
Yeah, and in that same color too. So that's
Yes,
it's a neat color,
champagne. The burgundy, which is just like the red Falcon. There's a light blue, which is almost exactly like the blue Falcon, the blue metal Falcon, and a really pretty, they call it purple. It's kind of this lavender. It's really, really pretty. If I didn't have this, I would be hard pressed to pick, and I may have to have one of each.
Oh, jeez.
But
and sadly, all four of them will probably add up to be less than my new pen purchase. But
exactly, look at those 4 for 1.
Actually, they will.
4 for 1, I win. But to compare, here's the Vanishing Point, the current, well, the Twilight, and the Decimo is definitely thinner. But the same nibs will work in both. So if you have a customized nib, you know, you can pop it in your new Decimo. But these are just really pretty, and I like the slightly thinner option. So I'm excited about those.
You know, I actually, to be honest, I never, when we had decimals in the store for about a week. I don't know that I wrote much with them. They're about the same size as the old style Vanishing Point.
They are,
which I do like, but I never get a chance to. And you never let me use your pens, so
I don't.
So I don't know.
They're nice writers. Take my word for it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'll just put one of my boring medium nibs in there, and then
There you go.
no, they look, you know, and one of the reasons I like that champagne color, and this is a really, really weird reason, I used to have a bicycle that color. And you probably, if you think hard enough, you'll remember that. She doesn't remember. That's fine.
Okay.
She's looking at me.
Moving on.
She's frozen. All right. Moving on. Anyway, it was a great bike. It was a Raleigh International Campagnolo components. So anyway, so you really haven't changed up your daily carry. When are you going to do that?
Why should I?
Well, I mean,
Come on, people in the chat, help me out. Why should I change up my daily carry if I like what I have in there? I mean, in my other penvelope case, I've got another Vanishing Point. I have a Platinum. I have another Pilot.
Okay. I'm just, you know, what I haven't seen in your pen case in a long time is an Aurora Optima.
Oh.
75th anniversary, maybe.
I should ink that up. Yeah. All right. So I'll put one of my Auroras in there. That goes
you got to take something out, though.
No. Because here's how this works.
You can have, what, 6 pens in your 4-pen case?
I can fit 5 comfortably. And then here I have.
I'm being outvoted
Platinum,
here.
Pilot. I have 2. I have a space for. Oh, that's Pilot.
I'm being outvoted in the chat here.
There. Yeah. See?
Okay.
People agree with me. Okay. You're wrong. Moving on.
Okay.
I'll put an Aurora in there though.
Put the 75th anniversary in there.
I will, because that's
it's a special memory for me.
That was.
I have it on video somewhere.
Let's talk about some of the new stuff, so we don't go too late. Yeah,
new stuff. If you didn't see it, this is really special. The Retro 51 Double 8. It's a faceted pen. It's really cool. We got 5 pieces in. These were limited editions from 2005. There were 2 colors, mahogany and ivory. The mahogany had a limited edition run of 200 pieces of each type. Ivory, 100 pieces each type. All 5 pieces that we had are serial number 51.
They all belong to the owner of Retro 51, George Kartsotis.
Yes.
Which is really cool.
Yeah, I can't imagine why he decided to let these go, but we had all 5. Actually, we had 2 fountain pens, 2 fine liners, which can be used as roller balls, and the ivory came in a ballpoint as well. So match sets. The fountain pens are gone. Those are the absolute first to go, but we do have the fine liners, which can be used as roller balls. They're capped roller balls, and then there's of course, there's a ballpoint. Really neat patterns, neat acrylics, faceted.
These look expensive. We have them in the same case as the Omas and the Auroras, and these are bigger. This is not your normal retro.
No.
These are gorgeous materials. The facets are beautiful. I mean, this looks like a $500 or $600 pen. I was shocked.
It's got a nice little a little jewel on the clip that has a piece of matching acrylic from the pen, and the box is cool. It's a
Box is very
faceted box. It slides open. So anyway, check that out. That's on the blog. We have a couple of those left. 2 rollerballs and a ballpoint left for you Retro 51 fans. This afternoon, also the much awaited TWSBI 580 AL Green showed up on the door. You know, and this is in person, this color is a little bit richer, a little bit darker than I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be, it's significantly darker than, say, the Lamy charged green. Okay.
I hadn't looked at it.
Well, I thought they were going to be about the same color. And it's hard to tell when you're looking online, but I grabbed one out right away and I held it up to charged green. I'm like, oh, okay. So charged green is definitely lighter. This 580 AL green is a much darker color. It's kind of a neat color. So if you're a 580 AL collector, these things is a one-time run. What we got is what we got, and that's it. So,
in fact, when Philip Wang emailed to say, okay, these are ready for retailers to purchase, he said that they had already stopped the production run, and so what he was getting was it.
Yeah.
So, which is, I guess, I don't know if it's different than what they did with the blue, or if they're just more upfront about it, because the blue was pretty much a one-time run. By the time that we needed to restock, it had run its course. So I guess this is kind of the new way they're doing it.
I kind of like the blue, and I was kind of thinking I should get one, but I haven't grabbed a TWSBI since the 580 first came out.
The rose gold was pretty.
Yeah, the rose gold was nice. I mean, we were grabbing one of each color. So we've got one of each color, the 540s. We've got one of each color, the VAC 700s. I've got a 580, but then we stopped. It was like, this is crazy, because they were coming out with, then they came out with 3 VAC mini or 3 minis. We got two of the 3 of those, but there's so many. I mean, it would be insane. But this green's not bad. If you like green, it's kind of an olive. Check it out. We'll have it in Long Island for sure. So, and also this week, I don't want to say much awaited, because I didn't really know this was coming out until not too long ago. New ink by Noodlers.
Brand new.
Burning Red, and that's BERN. Burning Red. And
fast dry.
Yeah, it's a very, very fast drying ink. Nathan Tardif has one of his usual videos to describe the ink. A little political, a little comedic, and then 20 minutes in, we get to the ink. But yeah, it's a quick drying ink, and he's writing it, and he smears his hand across it, and that's it. Not meant for flexible nib pens, but for a regular fine or medium nib, firm nib pen, this stuff dries quick. So if you're a lefty, this is specifically what it was designed for. So.
Yep. Let's see. Noodlers Ebonite feeds are back in stock. We ordered several hundred. We did not get close to that. So if you are looking for replacement feeds for Noodlers pens or whatever else they fit in, get them now. They will not last. You won't have them, I don't know, by the end of the weekend, they'll be gone at this rate.
Yeah.
Which is sad. I wish we could get them and keep them.
We only had about twice as many feeds come in as we had back in stock notifications. So
yeah,
there is a limit on those, so you can only get 5. But
it's nice to have them back.
Yeah, people use. I think some people are using them even for vintage repairs too, because you can sand them down a little bit so they can fit into vintage sections. They're nice feeds. They really are. I should probably stock up that one. Yeah. And the last thing, I guess, what's going on the website, Sheaffer.
Cross and Sheaffer. Cross, as most of you know, bought Sheaffer June, July.
Yeah, it's going on almost a year now, huh? Pretty close.
And they didn't make too many changes initially, but we just received word a week or 2 ago that, we knew about a month and a half ago that some Sheaffer products were going to be discontinued, and our rep didn't know which ones until they had this big corporate meeting. And then we just recently got the new price list with about 5 pages of either new product or price increases. And then the last several pages were Sheaffer products being discontinued. And
Yeah, it was like half and half.
did they go through and just eliminate entire lines. They decimated several other lines. They better come out with some really kick-ass stuff. Because
they came out with an inexpensive pen that's just, I gotta say it's not attractive.
Yeah.
It's hideous. But yeah, so Tyrannus, which I think everybody was kind of lukewarm at best, that's done. The 500 ballpoint, which I thought was a nice looking ballpoint. It's solid. It's very similar to the 300, but it's got a more of a rounded top to it. The 500 is done. There's not one of those. Last year they came out with they added colored pens to the Cigaris lineup, which I thought was kind of nice. Sheaffer historically has their pens are pretty much any color you want as long as you want them in black, chrome, black with two-tone chrome,
Sounds
and
like
then.
Cross.
Yeah, and then occasionally they'll have like a red with chrome or blue with chrome, and then what happens is the first batch to get cut is anything that has color, and so they're left with black with chrome and black with chrome trim, and so all the Cigaris colors, which were really nice, blue, red,
brown
was actually, for a brown pen, the brown was actually pretty nice.
Yep.
They cut them. And as well as some other Cigaris in the lineup. So the Cigaris lineup is really trimmed down. They cut some 100s. They cut a bunch of the brand new 300s that they just came out with.
And those were great. Yeah,
the colors, the dark blue, the light gray was kind of a neat color. They just chopped them. The really cool VFM ballpoints and the neat colors.
I like those. Yep.
Yeah, they were really nice, and a couple of the Sentinel ballpoints. So I mean, there
number
was
of the Sentinels. Yep.
It's, if you like any of that stuff, especially the 300s, which I think is maybe the best. Tyrannus is a cool pen. It's different. I got to give Sheaffer credit for doing something completely different.
Mm-hmm.
But they probably shouldn't have put their name right on the front there. I think that's what kills it for a lot of people. It looks like a vanishing point, but you got the big Sheaffer name on it. But the 300 is a nice pen. It's probably the best pen in the lineup, and they cut half of them out. So we've got some left as it is. If that's a pen that's of interest to you, you need a big, heavier pen. It's a solid performer, but that's it. They're done.
Yep. A lot of stuff gone. Same thing with the Cross line, and we've slowly been letting some of our Cross products sell out, but eliminating a lot of those as well. Looks like they're trying to get back to the more conservative, traditional, boring.
I gotta admit, if that's the case, and it's, you're right, why did they buy Sheaffer in the first place?
I don't know.
You know what I mean? I mean, because they're doing the pens that exist. I have to be careful how I word this, but the pens that exist with Sheaffer look the same configurations that you can get in Cross.
Seems to be. Now, we haven't looked too hard at what is coming out that's new. So in a couple weeks, after we get back from Long Island, we'll be looking at those and seeing what's new and interesting. But we had a very good relationship with Kenro, the former distributors of Sheaffer, and I think it's just really sad to see some of the things that they worked so hard to bring in now going away, because I know that they did a lot of research and they worked hard to bring some of the changes to Sheaffer to bring out the color, and I don't know, do we really need yet another black and gold pen?
Not unless it's an Namiki Emperor.
There you go. So,
I had to slide that in there, just
Yeah, you did.
So anyway, that's
change isn't always bad, and who knows? Maybe both lines will come out with some really cool, interesting things.
Well, I guess I don't want to sound poo-poo about it, but I've always liked Sheaffer. I've liked Sheaffer since I started collecting pens. And they were doing some great things back in the 90s, early 2000s. And now it's not, I mean, my hope is that Cross is clearing house so that they can come up with something that's really fantastic. And I really hope that's what it is, because I've always been in fact, one of my first eBay purchases ever was an oversized balance. I like Sheaffer. I like the Sheaffer Legacies, Legacy Heritage, Legacy 2s. I like all that stuff. So here's hoping that they come out with something that's great again. So
okay, there you go. And you had something really cool on the website.
yeah, we revived a
Paul Hurley's been busy.
a 3-year-old blog post on Pen Show do's and don'ts, and we got some good response from it. We wanted to update it because there's a couple of things that even we've learned over the last. I think we're up to you and I just in the last few years are up to 67 different 67 pen shows in the last 5 years, I think we've been to.
And I can recap for you. Coffee, bar, donuts, LA, go to Bristol Farm, and bring a pillow to sleep in the car. That's what I've learned.
Yeah, well, we didn't do the blog post on how to be a vendor. We did it how to be an attendee. But check it out. If you've not been to a pen show, if you have been to a pen show, let us know what you think. I think we've hit most of the high points.
There is pen show etiquette, and it isn't necessarily what you think. I mean, we read some posts online in various places, and vendors have no way to know what your level of expertise is. And so we, for example, always say when someone picks up a pen, we'll either say twist or pull if it looks like you're going to open the pen. And I have no idea whether it's our friend Paul, our friend Carrie, Jenny. I know you guys know pens, but you may not know this one, and it's just habit because we don't know every person who comes to the table. Yeah.
Right? We all do it. I mean, I do it from time to time. I pick up a model that I'm not familiar with, some weird Lamy or some. I mean, I think it probably happened in LA even. You pick up some pen you just don't know, and it's okay to ask. It's okay to be told. It really is. It's no big deal. But
not everybody will let you dip a pen. Not everybody has inked testers, and sometimes you have to live with that. Not all pens should be dipped or tested. If it's new old stock, if it's vintage and mint, most people are not going to let you dip it because then it's no longer mint.
And you know what? I think that's okay. I think it's 110% okay. It's just how it is. Just that I know there are some people don't understand the collector mentality. If you're going to have a pen, what's the point in having it if you can't ink, if you're not going to use it? And some people just don't understand using pens, and that's okay. We can coexist as long as each side understands that it's okay to have your own opinion on that. So,
and respect the other side.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, I float on both sides, and you sort of do a little bit, not as much as I do, but
even the things like bringing a purse or a backpack. I wouldn't say my purse is huge, but it's certainly not tiny. If I were to attend as an attendee, not as a vendor, I would totally bring a much smaller purse with bare essentials, because I can't tell you how many times people, well-intentioned people, ladies will put their purse and kind of thump it down on a tray full of pens, and we both cringe every time. Please don't break anything.
Yeah, because the pens are usually in the same price range. If you put your purse down on one tray of pens, it could be $5,000.
or they could be fragile. Maybe it's not at our table. It's on somebody with a binder of vintage pens, and they're fragile. You could crack one. So, while most of us are used to, you kind of thump down your purse on the counter at Target or at the grocery store. You can't do that at a pen show. And gentlemen, if you bring a bag of some sort, you've got to hang on to it. You got to put it down at your feet. You've got to sling it over your shoulder and they slide down. I thought it was a good point to mention bags.
Yep.
And a lot of the other stuff, but the common sense things that you generally don't think about. Wear comfortable shoes.
Yeah, and if you follow all the steps, some of it may seem like overkill. Like, you're going to bring baggies, you're going to bring up ink cloth, you're going to bring, loop. I mean, it sounds like you're going on an expedition for 30 days or something, but
you are. You're going on a hunt.
So I don't know. It's a good read, and I think it's okay. I think we're going to. I think we'll revive it every couple of years ago, and we're still learning things too. As crazy as that sounds,
Advil. Bring Advil.
Bring Advil. Yeah, why not? So anyway, that was kind of it on the blog this week. It's been kind of a crazy week at the shop, and
well, we got back last week, and then we immediately jumped.
Was it last week?
Yeah, we got back a week ago tonight.
2 weeks ago.
2 weeks? Really?
Yeah, because we didn't have a podcast the week we came back. Yeah, so
that's right. That's right. So 2 weeks we came back. We had the pilot event. Mom and John were here. They all went, and then we had 1 week of just trying to get back together and get our heads back in the game. Yes, Carrie, and bring cash to pen shows. Yep. Good point. Not everybody takes credit cards. More and more people are.
Don't expect checks.
But yeah, checks, we don't usually take them. Most people don't, because you never know these days.
Yeah. Good friends, they get the pass, but you got to know us for.
If we know you,
that's
one thing. But it's just hard. So, but it's nice to be kind of back on track. We'll do the podcast this week. We'll do it next week, and then we'll do it after that because we'll be back.
Yep. So. Next week, we'll talk about Long Island. What else do we got to talk about this week?
That's about it. We've got a ton of new stuff that's coming in, restocking a lot of stuff. We've just been out of so many things. And finally, a lot of vendors are shipping again.
Yeah. Well, in this last week and a half, we've been kind of focusing on OMAS at the store. This is the other thing I should mention is if you're on the mailing list, we're down to like a handful of OMAS, if that's something that's of interest. I have one piece each of everything except for like one roller ball. I've got two of that particular color, but we've got just a few pieces left. If you like the OMAS ink, what we have is we ordered some, and what we have is what we have, and it's going to be out. So. We'll have it we've got a good supply of it, but if you like OMAS ink, now's the time to get it. So
nice. And those are great bottles.
Yeah. I like it.
For myself.
When we heard the news a couple of weeks ago, first thing we did is Lisa and I were sitting here at home, and we called into the store, and we were working from home that morning, and we called in the store. We told Chris, he said, listen, or maybe that was on Saturday.
Pull a couple for us.
Yeah. Pull 2 of each and 3 of the green because I like the green. So
yeah. So that's it.
Anyway, that's it. We'll next week we'll talk about Long Island and then the show. So anybody going to Baltimore this week, we'll miss you, but if you can make it, come to see us in Long Island next week. So.
A much deserved and needed little break.
All right. Do we have any shout outs this week? I probably.
Shout out to Mom. She called. She bought a pen while she was here, and she was going to give it to her sister. And she decided, you go, Mom. She decided to keep it. So everybody in the chat, give Mom a big high five. She's keeping the pen she bought. Haven't we all done that? Oh, I'm going to give this to so-and-so. Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Yeah, it doesn't happen.
So she had to call and order a different one to give to her sister. So good job, Mom.
Awesome. All right. Well,
That's
that's it for this week. Use your pens. Write to us, Anderson Pens, 10 East College Avenue, Suite 112A, Appleton, Wisconsin, 54911.
Check us out on Twitter, Facebook, Pinterest, Instagram, Periscope, and all other social media as Anderson Pens.
The blog is blog.andersonpens.com.
And the website is andersonpens.com.
Thanks so much for listening, everybody. We will see you next week. Have a good night.
Bye.